Friends, this is Albina, and today I wanted to talk to you about spring. And since on our last call we talked about seasonality, knowing what season you're in and what season is yet to come is power. Anticipation of what season is yet to come is absolutely power. And we also talked about how when you are moving in correct timing, right, in harmony, in balance with the universe, then you get to experience effortless ease. Remember how I told you a story about my cousin, um, Italian cousin, the cousin that I was divinely guided to Roger and I and our kids as we were traveling around the world. We randomly showed up at this agriturismo, or a farm stay, that was owned by my cousin I didn't even know existed. So it was a completely real life miracle that took place. But anyway, so my cousin um, owns 72 hectares of land in Tuscany, in this area of Italy called Valdorcia. And she is not only running like this farm stay, like bed and breakfast, but she also has the olive garden. She grows wheat and many other different crops. And I was like, how do you do it? I mean, like, how do you manage with a very small, tiny group of people? Like, her team is very small. And she said that it took a little while for her to figure it out. And ultimately, she said, Albina, if you move together with Mother Nature in correct timing, if you know when to sow the seeds, when to plant, you plant the seeds in correct timing, and literally you don't have to do anything. Mother Nature takes care of everything needed to grow that crop. All you do is when fall comes, you just reap, you just collect the harvest. And I thought it was such a beautiful analogy for what I am about to tell you right now. And by the way, Roger and I are leading Under the Tuscan Sun Salutation Retreat on September 10th through the 17th at my cousin's beautiful agriturismo called La Selvella in Tuscany. So the details about that retreat will be announced probably later on this week. But ultimately, I do believe in the spring, if you go outside, you'll see that everything is blooming, right? This is the time for you to plant the seeds, because whatever it is that you do now is going to have major consequences later on in the year. And if you plant correct things in correct timing, you get to experience effortless ease. Whatever it is that you intend to do will happen quickly and easily. Am I making sense? So you can certainly plant something in the fall, so to speak, right? Metaphorically speaking, but it'll be really, really hard for you to grow anything that you plant in the fall. I mean, you have to bring the plant inside, you have to care for it, as opposed to if you plant in correct timing. So if you've been with me for a while, you know that we did this process. Some of you did this process with me in the fall, because in the fall we were collecting the harvest, right? A different season, and we were preparing for the winter. Now the seasons change, it's springtime. So I'm going to share with you a process that I do that helps me identify what it is that I must do now, or what it is that is as correct timing to do now. And all of this is based on intuition. We all have intuition. Every single one of us was equipped with this inner hearing, inner wisdom, inner guidance, what I call intuition. And if you truly listen to it, you will always hear your intuitive guidance, and it is always correct. So I'll give you an example from the work that I've done, and I usually do this every fall and every spring. So in the fall, when I was collecting my harvest, most of my harvest was energetic, right? So I realized that my intuition actually told me that, I'm not celebrating my achievements. I'm constantly like focusing on what's next, what's next. And in order for me to really enjoy my harvest in correct timing, my intuition, my guidance told me that, I needed to pause and celebrate everything that I've accomplished. I also realized that was in the fall that, you know, I had lots of glitches around abundance and creativity, and those glitches for me were delaying my harvest, so to speak, so that I couldn't reap what I sowed without these energetic 2 millimeter adjustments. So that was my case in the fall. And since many of you have been with me for a couple of years now, several years, go back to those notes that, the process that I helped you with last fall, and see what happened, how things changed. I love kind of measuring my progress as I move through the seasons, as I move through time. So today I did this process that I want to share with you for the spring, which is a different season. Remember, in the fall, you collect the harvest, you enjoy the fruits of your labor, so to speak. In the springtime, you get to sow the seeds, right? So when you're doing that, it is totally intuitive process. So you trust your intuition, you listen to your intuition, and you obey your intuition. So this is what I want to roll out as you and I guys do our one-on-one calls this season in the springtime. So you just sit up and you take a deep breath, and listening to your intuition, you ask, what is it time for me to sow now? What is correct time for me to sow now? And then you ask, how many? So before you identify what it is that you need to sow, you ask for a number. So you ask how many, and your intuition will always tell you, and it is usually a number between 1 and 5. So for me, it was number 3. So I need to sow 3 things. Then the next question that you ask is, in the order of priority, what is the first thing that I need to sow now? And then you listen with your intuition, right? And you go like, what is the second thing I need to sow? What is the third thing I need to sow? And then you listen with your intuition for more clarity. If you feel like it doesn't make sense, then ask like, tell me more. What specifically I need to do? So for me, in the springtime now, it was all about action. So in the fall, it was more like energetic. Celebrate, Albina. Slow down. Eliminate your energetic glitches like I'm not good enough, or constantly working, identifying with doing instead of being. So now it was all action. So for me, I'll tell you, there is a training that I purchased a long time ago that I haven't gotten off my butt and completed it. And this inner guidance told me like, this is the time for you to do this training. I agree. And the second thing was like, in my retreat center, this is the time for me to get off my butt and actually do some work for everything that I want to create there. So the time to do it is right now. And the third thing that has been on my radar for a while now is my book. I need to work on my book. So as you see, for me, and I have a suspicion for you, the springtime process, guidance that you all have access to, we all have guidance to, will mostly be around action items. They're very like inspired action steps that you must take now. And if you do that now in the spring, I promise you guys, you will experience more of effortless ease, because you're working in cadence with the universe. You're working in rhythm, in balance with the universal rhythms. And right now, Mother Nature is waking up. Right now, it's so interesting. We have a reef by our front door, and we noticed that probably 3 weeks ago, this bird built a nest inside of our reef, and it was so fascinating. And she laid her eggs there, and literally on Easter Sunday, just the other day, those eggs hatched. So all of Mother Nature is waking up. All of Mother Nature is becoming alive again. And if you sow the right seeds right now, and you get off your butt and you take inspired action, I promise you, just like my cousin, Mother Nature will take care of it. The universe will take care of it. You are going to move with effortless ease. I hope this is helpful, you guys. Sign up for your one-on-ones. I do have 2 spots tomorrow, Thursday, and then the following Thursday, I think I have more spots. But I'd like to take you through this process individually so that you get to experience the beauty and the magic of your intuitive guidance. I love you. And by the way, I see you tomorrow for our April Year of Yes gathering. Bye, guys.